Hey my loves, I'm Anita Manager and welcome back to another episode of Sip and Simmer. We all may have our concerns and worries in life, but for the next 30 minutes, you're mine. We're here to have a drink, a snack, and a good time. During this episode, we will be making homemade raviolis, the filling, the sauce, the whole meal, together, tonight. It's going to be a busy episode. We're going to be pairing that with a godmother cocktail. That is the third time today I've done that. If you would like to contribute to the production of Sip and Simmer, my Venmo is Mrs. Anita Manager, and all the proceeds do go to all of the drinks and the snacks that we make here together. Tonight we do have Sienna Rose joining us, but before we go on, I need a minute. Tonight's topic is something that I believe we've discussed before, but I feel like it is worth bringing up again. It is procrastination. You may not be able to tell considering how gorgeous I look, and I am also somebody who puts things off to the last minute sometimes. Now, procrastination can be a little bit of a weird behavior. It isn't something that people do intentionally in the way that you intentionally drive a car or cook a meal. It is not done actively, but it's also not a mistake. You don't accidentally not do something for a day or two or 4 or 6. It's the way that you accidentally stumble or drop something. It's in between, and it really comes from a lack of prioritizing and a lack of intention. The annoying truth is that we know when we're supposed to do something, and that's the hard part. At least once a day, that little voice in the back of your head reminds us of what we have to accomplish, completing a school assignment, calling someone on their birthday, doing the laundry, or in my case, finishing the laundry, because mine just sits downstairs in the dryer for days and days. And then it sits in a basket for days and days. And then I beg Erin to do it. Most of us, like myself, have gotten really good at ignoring that little voice in the back of our head. Usually it's by convincing ourselves that other things are more important, which sometimes they are, or that we have plenty of time to complete it and we just brush it aside. This behavior is hard for a lot of us to admit, and it's very easy for us to notice in others. Oftentimes the behaviors that most bother us and other people, like procrastination, are the ones that we are most guilty of ourselves. So what do we do about it? There's loads of apps and tools that we can use. There's temporary websites that can block us and keep us on the right track for things that we're working on online, but that's only a partial fix. The real thing that we have to do is learn to listen to that little voice and stop telling it to shut up. So when we catch ourselves brushing things aside and we argue with ourselves, oh, I have time, it's not a big deal, remind yourself of how much you dislike seeing other people do that same thing that you are doing right now. And let that serve as the start of motivation for you to follow and keep up with your own to-do lists. It's not easy, and it is not something that I do well, and you won't get it right every time, but it's better to try and succeed half of the time than fail and lose by default every time. That being said, this was a little bit rushed, but everything got done, and there is no more procrastination happening because we are doing it. So, before we invite Sienna on, we're going to make a cocktail to invite her to. Okay, so tonight we are going to be making a godmother, and it is a super simple cocktail. I'm going to be shaking it tonight, as Aaron has pointed out, because he knows all. You don't shake a godmother because it dilutes it. Well, we're going to dilute it tonight because we've got work to do. So, I've got my shaker. It's got 2 ingredients. You've got vodka and amaretto. If you were not to shake it, I would put the vodka in the glass first over the rocks, and then I would put the amaretto on top. So, what I'm doing now is I'm going to put it in the shaker. So I've got 3 ounces of vodka, and I've got 1 ounce of amaretto, and that's it. So I'm going to shake this, and Nick yells at me every time because I'm horrible at shaking it, but that doesn't matter, because I'm not making it for him. And that's good enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is clean off my little work area. You can always tell when we are going to be doing some real cooking because there's only 1 cutting board here, and that's getting moved because we are using the whole stove tonight. So get ready to see some drag queen sweat. All right, so I've got our 2 glasses here. I got this little topper thingy for the shaker because I'm no good at pouring it through the lid. And because I am such a good friend, this is a little strong for our Sienna. So I am going to top her off with a little bit of Sprite. She likes it sweet and she likes it diluted, just like her. Okay, so before I go on, let's invite the beautiful Sienna Rose.
I'm back. Hi guys.
And more beautiful than ever.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
My pleasure.
All right, just in case we have any newcomers to the show, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
You guys can find me, as always, on all my social media at Sienna Rose Official. That's Facebook, Instagram, and of course, the Venmo. Ding! Still working on those sound effects, I see.
I thought we worked on that. Didn't you find something?
I did, and then I forgot about it. So I blame the production.
Okay, so sounds to come.
Uh-huh.
So why don't we give this a little sip?
I'm very nervous about this.
You've got like.
Is this like an amaretto sour, just not sour? Because
sure.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll see.
Cheers.
Hey. Ooh.
Oh, that's really good.
That is good, actually. Very strong, but good.
I put a whole bunch of Sprite in yours.
I know, but I don't drink amaretto often, so it's like...
It's like 4 parts vodka. That's a lie. It's 3... No, it's 3 parts vodka, 1 part amaretto.
Okay, but still. It's the strongest flavor in the drink.
That's fair.
Of 2 ingredients.
Do you want to taste mine?
No.
Are you sure? Taste it.
That looks like death.
No, just taste it. No, this is like the real one.
I could... Oh, wow.
Gives you a little bit of fire breath.
Take that away.
Okay, so while she breathes, she said that she wanted to blame production for the lack of sound effects. I'm still going to blame her, but I would like to point out and say a big thank you to the entire production staff. That's my sister Kristen. We have Nick on production. We have Greg on backup. And we could not do this show without the 3 of them.
No.
Also, I would like to give a huge shout out to the behind-the-scenes writer, Aaron, my husband,
Yes, our script writer.
for writing all of the Anita minutes because I ain't got that many smarts. And I could read most of the time.
Some days.
Like a little bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't even tell I'm reading.
You think that. Okay.
No, but I really do want to give a genuine thank you to everybody behind the scenes because this show would literally just be the 2 of us sitting in the dark crying trying to turn the stove on.
No, I know how to work the lights.
Okay, fine. We would be sitting in the light crying trying to turn the stove on.
Beautifully lit, though. Beautifully lit.
Okay, so I want to give a big shout out to all my free mom huggers that are in the chat room. Thank you for coming. I love all of you. It's a chat room.
Comment section.
Anyway, let's get started.
Let's do it. So we have a lot to do.
We have a ton to do. So what we're going to start with, because you want your sauce to simmer, is I'm going to have Sienna...
Your sauce?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have Sienna start with that.
Okay.
We're going to pop that on the back burner. So
Right.
my go-to, my really simple sauce, we've got olive oil. You want to put enough in the bottom of the pan to give it a good coat. All right. There's nothing flammable beneath the cutting board this evening.
No mapinas.
No. Okay, that's good.
Good. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so once you get the olive oil in, now, just the other night I said you want to make sure that your pots are hot when you go to use them. Addendum. I like to throw my onions for my sauce in when it's not quite hot yet because you can really judge how much you are simmering them. So if you want to throw those in now.
Okay. Now how many? Much onion? How many?
So I usually do...
Quantity? Question mark?
2 medium-sized ones. We use 3 small ones tonight. You could use 1 giant one. It just depends on how much onion you like in it.
Okay.
So when you are sauteing anything, you want to make sure you season it well. So I'm going to put in a pinch of sugar. And that's not sugar, I meant to say salt.
I was gonna say.
Okay, and if you wouldn't mind hitting it with the pepper,
Let's
always
do it.
use fresh cracked pepper when you are making sauce. The big problem is a lot of people think that it's got too much flavor or it could be too spicy.
Good.
Yeah, I'm judging you. No, that's perfect.
Okay.
But you really want fresh cracked pepper because there's going to be so many other flavors that you really want to pull out that smokiness. You want that little bit of tang that you got. Is that the right word for pepper? Tang?
Tang?
I don't, like
kick?
Yeah, that little bit of kick. There's fresh cracked pepper just gives it a little bit more of a kick. It's the same thing as the stuff that's already ground. It's just fresh.
Love that.
So we're going to use our prop this evening.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, so that's starting to simmer. It's starting to break down. We're getting all those flavors out of the onion. Now, before I start on the pasta sauce, one more thing about my sauce. A lot of people like to throw the garlic in from the beginning with the onion. We've talked about this before. I just want to reiterate. If you put your onion into or your garlic in too soon, you're going to lose all of that great flavors. You're going to lose that garlicky, you know, like that.
The reason that you're putting the garlic in
Right.
the first place.
And I love me some garlic,
Oh,
and
yes.
I really like to get it going. So once your onions are clear is when you want to throw your garlic in, so that way it hits the oil a little bit, and then you can mix your other flavors in. Sound good? All right, so I've got my stand mixer over here ready to go. This is my basic pasta recipe.
Your basic pasta
Basic.
recipe? Okay.
It's super basic.
But is it easy?
It's actually very easy.
Okay.
It doesn't get any easier than this. It's a super thick pasta.
Thank you for that. And if we have anybody new here, our drinking word of the day, as always, is thick. So every time we say the word thick, take a drink along with us.
Okay. So it is a lot easier if you do it in a stand mixer. I've done it in a food processor. Don't do it by... You can do it by hand. I'm lazy.
If you got the gadgets, use them, girl.
Exactly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to I have 3 cups of flour. And I'm going to just pour all of my flour into my stand mixer.
Okay. With the dough hook attachment?
Oh, yes, I forgot to bring it
yes.
out. We've got our Captain Dough Hook in the mixing bowl. From this dough, you can make any pasta. You can make penne. Good luck, it's really hard.
Is it really?
Yeah, because you have to wrap it around like a wooden spoon or something, and then you have to cut the angles in it to get the points, and then it's a lot of work.
That's too much.
Make linguine, because you literally roll it out and you cut strips.
Love that.
Right? Super simple. So then I have half a teaspoon of sugar, a full teaspoon of salt, and that's my dry ingredients. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn this on just to get a little mix going. Perfect. Okay, so from there, I've got 4 eggs. I've got a tablespoon of olive oil, and I've got 3 tablespoons of water. Now, like I said, this is a super thick dough. I gotta be careful tonight. That's
Right?
a really strong drink. Okay. So like I said, this
It's
is
growing on me.
super dense.
Okay.
I'll say dense.
Thank you.
So you want to make sure that you mix your liquid or wet ingredients on the side, and then I just dump them all in and let the mixer do the rest of the work. So I'm just going to turn this on and then let it go. So without scraping down the walls of the bowl, you don't have to knead it afterwards.
Oh, I love that.
So this is idiot proof. If I could do it without paying attention, literally anybody can do this. Like, it is so simple, because that's done.
Love it.
That's it.
Perfect.
So I'm just gonna let this work,
Okay.
and we'll jump back over here to the sauce.
Okay. The onions, they're getting clear.
That's good enough.
That's good enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna add in the garlic.
Yes.
Great.
So once our onions are clear, we're gonna throw in our garlic. Yep.
Okay.
I like to buy the pre-minced garlic. 1, it's easier. 2, it lasts forever. And 3, you could really scoop that bitch right out, and you could use as much garlic as you want, and it's perfect. Okay, so I've got, I use about 2 teaspoons of pre-minced garlic.
Okay.
So from here, we are going to add the seasonings. This is completely up to your taste. I'm going to tell you what I put in.
Okay.
I put in a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of basil, a teaspoon of thyme, and a teaspoon of parsley.
I see. Okay.
And that's it. I like to throw that in with the onion and the garlic, just for a second, before we put in our tomatoes. Yep.
Okay. Boom.
Perfect. And then just stir that around. What you're doing when you put it in at this point is you're letting the herbs soak up some of that oil, so that way you don't get that fatty layer at the top.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean? Which is delicious for dunking bread, but when you're making raviolis, it's a very quick meal to make, so you don't have time to really sit there and taste the sauce. So that's why I use my straight go-to, call it a day.
Love it.
Okay, so from here, we are going to put in our canned tomatoes. What you want to make sure you do is, personally, I like to get the whole peeled San Marzano tomatoes, and then I just let it come to a boil, and then I hit it with the food processor. You can use crushed tomatoes if you want. I suggest staying away from buying the can of tomato sauce, because you lose a lot of flavor because it's just sitting there. So you can get all that in there.
All of it?
Yep. I use a 28-ounce can because there's 6 of us living in the house, and we get 2 meals out of it. If you want to use less, obviously use less, but, okay, so I'm going to turn that off. So what you're going to do is, after your dough completely comes together, is you're going to put it in an olive oil lined bowl, and you are going to let it sit for a minimum of an hour. I wouldn't let it sit for longer than 3 hours, because then it's going to start to get tough. So what you're going to have after that is it's going to look just like this. It should be, surprisingly, pasta color. It's got a nice yellow from the egg yolk, and it's going to be super, super pliable from those eggs. So what we're going to do is we are going to just get a little bit of flour down. Okay. And like I said, we did all the kneading and all the work earlier by just leaving it in the bowl to mix itself. So this is going to be ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pizza cutter, and I'm just going to cut it right in half.
Cool.
All right, so I'm going to have to speak louder again because I'm cheating again and using a gadget.
Okay.
So I have attached to my stand mixer here.
I was going to ask you what that was.
This is the pasta roller. So I have just the standard blade in here. It's like 2 rolling pins, basically. If you have a hand crank, you can use that also. If you have a rolling pin, Ellen, I know you have a wooden rolling pin. I'm gonna buy you a marble one.
Oh.
I'm telling you right now. I know your address. But I find that this is super easy because you start on the fatter setting and you work your way down.
Okay.
If you go all the way down, that's gonna be your angel hair. If you stay super fat, that's your linguine. And we're gonna go right into the middle. We're gonna go to like a 6.
Right.
And all of them have a standard setting. So for the lasagna, ravioli or lasagna, I use both of them. I put it at about a 6. It's not too thick where it gets chewy, and it's not too thin to the point where all of your stuffing falls out. So I'm gonna get this onto my stand mixer. And the most important thing is you want to continuously flour this, because if it gets too wet, it's gonna get stuck in the machine, and you're gonna get ripples in it, and it's not gonna be even. Okay, so when you put it on your stand mixer, you want to make sure that you have it on the lowest setting, because if you do it too quickly, it's going to go all over the place.
Oh, we don't want that.
Okay, so I'm gonna get this in there. And like I said, you're starting on your fattest setting. And it's a little bit slow, but if you do it too quickly, that's when you're gonna get the air pockets. Okay, so this is our fattest setting. It's super, I don't know if you can tell at home, it's super thick.
Oh, that's right, you did say it.
But you also wanna make sure that as you're going, you're flouring it. You're not just doing it in the beginning because it's really sticky. And you want to make sure that you get both sides. So, I like to let mine dry a little bit before using it because it makes it come together a little bit easier when you are putting the filling in it. So I'm just gonna get one more pass on this. So I've got this right now out of 4. It's still gonna be too thick, in my opinion. IMO. For ravioli. But we're just gonna go with it.
Let's do it.
Just because I don't want to yell the whole night. Okay, so I've got this here. I got that off. All right, so when I'm letting it sit, I just make sure I lay it out, and you make sure that you really flour it heavily, so that way it doesn't stick to itself. And then you can come back to it. So what that's going to do is that's going to help it dry out a little bit quicker on top of it not sticking to itself. Because when you cook the pasta, it should be relatively dry, so that way it absorbs a little bit of that water and it puffs up a little bit.
Oh,
so
now it all makes sense.
Fresh pasta is a lot different than store-bought pasta. When you're doing fresh pasta, you're putting it in that boiled water, that boiling water, for maybe 3 minutes.
Right.
Did I say super thick?
Did you?
I think I did. That's a super sip. Thanks, Ellen. Okay. So.
It is really growing on me.
Right? It's good. Okay. So, we've got our sauce simmering. We've got our pasta sitting.
And we're sipping.
And we're sipping.
Look at that. It's all coming together.
Would you mind getting the mix for the inside going?
Sure, let's do it.
While she does that, why don't I pull out our game?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so tonight we are going to be playing the elusive envelope. As you can see here, it is a sealed envelope. Kristen, I know I yell when people talk when we're doing the show, but did you write all of these words? You didn't write any of these words?
No.
You didn't fill this envelope with words?
Oh, I filled it. I didn't write the ones in the front.
Okay, so my sister is beautiful. Just a little slow. So I'm going to ask her one more time. Did you fill this envelope with words?
Yes.
Did Sienna or I see the words?
No.
It is sealed. So, elusive envelope. There are a dozen words in here, and we have to guess the word by the other person describing that word in 5 words or less.
Right.
Right? Okay, so I gave the description of that. Why don't you give me the description of what's going in our raviolis?
Okay, so our filling is going to be the ricotta and spinach filling. So we are going to, in a glass bowl, we're going to put 1 cup of ricotta cheese that's well drained. So, okay, and we're just going to scoop this into the bowl.
The
That
most-
came out so easy.
The most important thing is well drained. So typically if you're scooping from the top of the ricotta, all of the water is sunk to the bottom, so you don't really have to sit it in the muslin. But if you have ricotta that's been sitting in the fridge or whatever, you want to make sure that you really get that moisture out, otherwise it's just going to make all the raviolis explode.
Right.
So that's why it says well drained. If you have a sieve, which is one of those really thin mesh colanders, you could just let it sit in that for about a half hour and any of the juices will run out.
Love it. Okay, and to the ricotta, we're going to add in 1/2 cup of fresh baby spinach that has been chopped. Just get all that in there. Okay. Then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. Okay, and 1 large egg.
Okay, so if you are vegan or a vegetarian and you don't do eggs, if you are allergic to eggs, you need to put something in the ravioli that's going to bind the ingredients together. If you do a flaxseed egg mix thing, you could substitute with that. But no.
Am I using this?
Nope, just
Okay.
mix it with a spoon.
Okay.
Yep. So you just want to make sure if you are substituting, it's going to be something thick and something that's going to bind it. If you're going to...
I'm here tonight to catch you on this.
Right? If you are going to be substituting the ricotta, they do make a vegan...
Vegan?
a vegan...
Fancy way of being
yes, cheese spread that you can use. You can use anything that is a thick cheese substitute. I can't tonight, okay?
Alright, can you any night?
It's one of my favorite words.
We know, girl.
Okay, so she's getting that going. I'm going to open our elusive envelope. We love alliteration.
Tonight is a battle, isn't it?
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna go 1 for 1. So we'll pause. We'll pause in between, see what you guys have to say before we answer.
I do very well on these games. Thank you very much.
Anyway, I'm going to start. And it also depends on how well you know each other too. That's what really this game is about.
Right. Well, that's how well the other person knows words.
I cook, okay? That's enough.
I know.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Oh boy.
Karopi.
Huh?
Karopi.
I don't even. That's a word?
Okay.
Karopi.
Water cup.
Is that one word or two?
Water cup is one word.
Okay, we're hyphenating.
Water
right?
cup. Yeah, no, it's type it in. It's fine.
So
we
water
have
cup.
Water cup. Karopi.
I don't know what that is.
Oh God, you guys know what karopi is, don't you? Little cute guy. Anyway, okay. It's anime.
Oh, I'm not gonna know any of this.
Oh my God, it's in the house. How many words is that? Is that 3?
Yeah. We're water cup, karopi, anime.
Kristen.
Kristen. Okay. One more.
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Me, Kristen, water cup.
Anime.
So none of these guesses are helping you at all because you don't live here. It's really frustrating me that this is the first word that I get because I feel like I could be better at this game, but this is really hard.
I think I know what it is.
Okay, what is it?
Is it Hello Kitty?
Oh my God, she got it! Yes! Oh my God, that's a point for me!
No, it shouldn't be my point.
No, it's my point.
Oh, then I take my word
answer.
back. I take my word back.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
I did the work.
Did you, though?
Kind of. I have a water cup that's Hello Kitty, and so does my sister. It makes sense. And water cup could be one word. I don't know. I'm not an English major.
Okay. Oh, boy. Are you ready for this word?
I don't know.
Okay.
You want to show everybody at home, or do we want them to guess with us?
I think it's more fun if they guess with us,
Okay,
right?
Okay.
Okay. I have to think of exactly which one this is.
I'm gonna cheat if you don't put that away.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. Morning.
Okay.
Barn.
Okay.
Loud.
Rooster.
Yes.
Yes. Oh wait, that's a point for you.
Yes,
Okay.
and in 3 words. Look at that.
Okay.
And
So.
to show you not cheating, the word is rooster.
Okay. So we've got our sauce over here simmering. So before we go on, let's get loud again for a second.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna ask you to do this part.
Okay.
Usually I would do it, but you're wearing black and I'm wearing white.
Okay. What am I doing?
So I'm gonna turn down the heat, so that way we don't lose any of this heat from it simmering.
Right.
And you're going to grab the immersion blender and you're just gonna break down the tomatoes.
Okay.
We aren't looking for a liquid. We are just looking for it to be broken down to coat the ravioli.
Right.
Excuse me.
Where's the button? Okay.
You can just go turbo.
Huh?
Don't take it out of the water or out of the sauce and just, yep. Okay. And if you've never used an immersion blender, take your finger off. What you can do is you could just find the tomato, like this one, put it on top, and then push it out. And then move it. There you go. Okay. While she's doing that, I hope you can all hear me. That's good enough.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
is it over here? I didn't get over here. Okay. I think we're good.
this guy over here so it's out of our way. Beautiful. Okay, so I have a ravioli press. It looks like this.
Cute.
It's got the little zigzag pattern on it. It's got the holes for us to put the filling. If you don't have this at home, you can use an ice tray. If you don't have an ice tray because it is 2020 and who uses them?
I mean,
I honestly don't even know where you could buy an ice tray.
you can find it anywhere, I think.
Anyway.
Dollar store, Walmart, Target, Amazon.
Okay, we get it, you shop. Anyway, the easiest method, aside from using a ravioli press or an ice tray, is to just cut out like I did earlier. And I like to cut my either lasagna or ravioli sheets with kitchen scissors. So that way I know I get a clean line and I don't have to worry about it pulling. You would just lay it on the counter. Make sure you have two pieces that are the same size. And then just give yourself a finger's width in between all of your dollops. Put the other one on top and then cut them. Okay? I am going to be using my ravioli press because I love a good gadget.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line the top of it. It's going to be flat. And then I'm going to hit it with a little egg. And what that's going to do is because the pasta has dried out a little bit, it's going to give it a little bit of moisture, which is going to give it a little bit of bounce. So I'm going to be able to press the filling into it.
Okay.
So, and also what that's going to do is that's going to let the top layer adhere to it once we get that on. Okay. So this is super important to get it really wet.
Right. It's always important.
Family show. Because you're not going to be able to get the filling into it if you don't.
Oh.
So the top layer, we're not going to put anything on because this is going to be wet enough to adhere it. And then I'm just going to hit it with a rolling pin.
Love it.
Super simple. All right, can I have the filling?
Let's do it.
Why don't you fill half and I'll read a word to you.
Okay.
And then we'll switch.
Cool.
All right. We'll switch.
So I'm just doing that one little teaspoon right in the center.
Yep. Make sure it's an even, I know it doesn't sound like much, but you want a level teaspoon, otherwise they're gonna be too fat and they're gonna explode. Okay. Alright, I got this one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do I got it?
Yellow.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Long.
Yellow and long. Okay.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
Delicious.
Oh, long breakfast, delicious. Okay.
Fruit.
Banana.
Ding, ding, ding.
I did it.
Okay, so now we're two for, well, you didn't go yet.
No.
But whatever. Okay. So this recipe specifically, I honestly think it'll serve 6 people. When it comes to raviolis, I mean, you don't need a ton of them.
Right. They're very filling.
They're super filling. They've got a filling. It's a lot of pasta. So I really think that this recipe should be 6 portions. So you've got half of those done. I'll do the other half.
Okay.
You want to dance?
Dance.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Look at that. Okay.
So now I've got 2. It's your turn.
All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna pick a good one. Let's go with.
All right.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So. You ready for this?
I think so.
What we're making tonight.
I mean, all of those words kind of blend together.
What we're making tonight.
Ravioli.
Ding, ding, ding. Look at that.
Okay, I feel like that's cheating, but I'll give it to you.
I did it in less than 5 words, and you got it right.
Okay. So
my point.
we have the filling in the center of the mold. I have the second sheet here that I'm just going to put on top.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're just going to give it a little bit of a press to make sure that it's level. And I'm telling you, if you plan on making raviolis, spend the $20 to buy this. Are you ready?
Let's do it. I'm excited to see this. Oh. Oh, wow.
That's it.
Oh, and it just all came together just like that.
Yep.
Wow.
It crimps the edges. It gives the actual ravioli like edge where it's like zigzaggy. Zigzaggy?
Who would have thought?
Me!
Now, see, if I was doing this without you, I probably would have went to the craft store, got those kids' scissors that had the little funky designs on them, and be sitting here cutting it like that.
Okay, so if you do end up getting the ravioli press, so this is the KitchenAid one. They do make off brands, but they're all the same price. So get the KitchenAid.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Know that you're doing it right.
Ooh.
Girl.
I'm telling you, that drink is strong. Okay, I'll blame the drink.
Okay.
It's never my fault.
Never.
Okay, so you really want to make sure that you actually press this until you see the metal coming through, because otherwise it's not going to be crimped on the edges, and your raviolis are going to explode.
Nobody wants that.
Right? We all love a perfect ravioli.
Yeah, and those do look perfect.
Right? So then, this is my favorite part because it's just fun.
Okay.
You just give it a flick. Whoop, and they come out.
Wow.
So this is our ravioli.
Oh my god, we did it.
Right? How easy is that?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get any easier than this.
It really doesn't.
Okay, so if you have burst, which is probably my fault for being a little over enthusiastic, so I'm gonna leave those on the side so we don't get them all over the water.
Okay.
I'm only gonna take the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any that burst, you can fry them.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Love that.
that's
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put these to the side.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make another row. Okay, this one should be fine.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
That one's, I think that one's even fine. It's just
It's a little
slanted.
soft. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put these guys to the side,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna make one more batch before we get to boiling.
Okay.
All right, is it your turn or my turn?
I just went, so it's your turn to give to me.
All right, so
You're gonna get that on there.
absolutely, it was 100% the alcohol's fault
When you set the kitchen on
when I
fire?
set the kitchen on
Right,
fire.
okay, sure.
All right, so
Twice in one night.
well, it was more of like a lingering fire as opposed to twice.
No, I don't think that's how fire works.
Okay, so I'm just trying to stretch this out because I didn't really do it the right way. All right. So this is gonna be good enough. All right. So you're going to fill while I, actually, you know what? Why don't I use the one that I did properly so that way we don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if it opens and everything's ruined,
yeah.
we're not doing raviolis again when we have Nailed It Week because there's just too much work involved. Finish, you know, fixing my mistakes.
Right.
I wish scissors could fix all of life's mistakes.
Uh-huh.
Let's get emotional for a moment, guys.
For what?
It's not, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was like, no.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this right here, get this out of the way. My website, mrsanitamanager.com, or you can check out the YouTube, and it is YouTube/Anita Manager.
Where all of our mistakes live forever.
They sure do.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly enough, the one with the fire doesn't have that many views, so if you can go find it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get that over to like, what, 1,000 views?
I mean, who doesn't want to see a drag queen catch on fire?
Right, I mean...
I was this close.
Twice.
I kept my cool though.
You certainly did.
Alright, so I'm gonna give you this.
Okay.
You're gonna get the scoop in, and I'll read the question.
Did you egg wash?
Oh. She pays attention!
Look at me. Oh, that's very eggy. Okay. Thank
Alright.
you for that.
So, I was trying to cheat. I didn't do well. Okay, ready?
Sure.
This one might be easy or it might be hard.
Okay.
So that's.
That gives me absolutely nothing.
All right, ready?
Sure.
Pink,
Okay.
shrimp.
Pink shrimp.
Okay.
Okay.
Leg,
Pink shrimp leg.
bird,
Bird. Pink shrimp leg and bird.
ornament.
Ornaments. Pink shrimp leg, ornament, what else?
Bank, shrimp, leg, ornament, bird.
My first
Come
thought
on.
is to go to flamingo. Is it flamingo?
It's flamingo! Lawn ornament.
Oh, okay.
Lawn ornament's a thing.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, but it is.
We don't have one. I'm just saying it isn't a thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's a thing you would see in Florida. I'm sure Florida men have plenty of lawn ornaments.
All right. So you got a good egg wash on that.
Yep.
I'll give you the envelope,
Okay.
and I will get to filling.
Okay. Now, we're both tied, aren't we?
Yeah.
2 for 2?
Is this the second,
Third round?
third round? Or-
Third round. I don't know what this says. Oh. I hate you. Okay. Our viewers at home may not get this, but everybody in our house will get this.
Well, that's no fun. Pick a different one. This is about them, not us.
I know. Okay. So now. Oh boy. Okay.
Do you regret that decision?
I'm trying to think of how to describe this without saying the actual words that are in it because it's very difficult. Cold. Hockey. Feet. Painful. I get one more, right? Dangerous. Hockey, cold, feet, painful and dangerous.
Oh my god. Why don't you
Come on.
tell us what the other word was before we go on to this?
Okay, well the
I'm
other
just trying
word,
to
Right.
get some time here.
it is our lovely production assistant's catchphrase of,
Oh, me backy!
Yes,
I would have
yes.
gotten that.
you would have, but our viewers at home wouldn't.
Right.
Now, again, the words I gave to her are hockey, cold, feet, painful, and dangerous. Does anybody at home have any guesses of what this could possibly be?
Cold.
Cold, yes.
Feet.
Uh-huh.
Hockey.
But not cold feet, just cold and feet. It's not like a wedding where it's like cold feet. It's just cold, comma.
Is it a skate?
I think we can give you that.
Ice
Yeah.
skate?
Ice skate, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. It was very difficult for me not to say the word ice that
Yeah.
entire time.
Okay, so this one is going to be the tiebreaker.
No, this, if I get this right, we'll be at a tie.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how numbers work.
So but wait, that wasn't even?
We're in the middle of a round. I went, no, you go.
Oh. Yeah.
Was that difficult for anybody else?
Okay, so I've got our second batch of raviolis rolled out.
You sure do.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let these dry for about 15 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and then we're going to put them in a pot of boiling water for 2 to 3 minutes,
Right. Ooh,
and then that's it. And then we're going to throw our sauce on top,
love that.
and that's about it.
Perfect.
All right, so you ready?
Let's do it. Let's see if you can put us in a tie, even though I think there's only one left. Yes, because we got rid of one.
All right.
Ba-da-ba.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Destruction.
Okay.
Round.
Round.
Yep.
Round destruction. Okay.
Miley.
Okay.
How many is that?
3.
Oh god. Metal,
Metal.
I think. We'll go with metal.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Song.
Okay.
How many is that?
That's 5.
5. Done. Okay.
So go over 'em one more time.
I can't remember. Metal.
Yes.
Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Song.
Yes.
Miley.
Uh-huh.
Destruction.
Destruction. Okay. Do we have any
You all know
guesses
what
at
this
home?
is. Come on.
I think I do too, but I just want to make sure because I like to be a winner here. And, so I should get this wrong if I really want to be a winner because there isn't a tiebreaker. But.
We can come up with a tiebreaker.
Okay. Is it Wrecking Ball?
It sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love that song.
We have Wrecking Ball here. So why don't we have our production manager write down 5 keywords on the screen of something, and we have to guess what's in his mind.
Okay, and the first one that gets it.
The first one that gets it.
Ooh, okay, make it good.
Okay, but the trick is you have to type it where we can't see it. Is that possible?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay. We're figuring it out.
Okay, so I'm just going to get these out so we can all see the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
Strong drinks.
No, I didn't want to die from ravioli.
So like I said, 2 to 3 minutes. You're going to drop them in really quickly boiling water.
Uh-huh.
Or really strong. How do you say that? A strong boil?
When the water is boiling, put them in.
But I don't mean like a couple of bubbles. I mean like a really strong bubbling water.
When it's at full boil.
A full boil?
Sure.
Sure.
Peak boil?
Okay.
I don't know.
When you're at your strongest boil, you're going to drop these bad boys in. The moment they float, take them out.
Okay.
That's it. So it's super, 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 super quick. But how easy is it to make raviolis?
It's actually a lot easier than I thought.
Right? I'm confident in you that you could do this by yourself.
Thank you for that. I know. Okay.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
British,
So,
do we have our words yet?
all right. You ready? Let's read them out loud together.
Okay.
All right. We'll alternate.
Okay.
Wood,
Round.
hard,
Weapon.
marble.
I think I know.
I know. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rolling pin. Okay,
So it's a
well,
tie. It's a tie tonight. We're both winners.
I don't like that.
That's fair. That's fair. I've got the weapon.
Okay, I guess this is All Stars 4.
All right, guys. So thank you all for tuning in tonight for our super long episode that you don't really get to see the finished product, but
Right.
they're delicious. Try them at home. Raviolis are super, super simple. We will see you on...
Thursday.
No, today's Thursday.
Is
isn't
it?
Today's
What is
Thursday.
it? Today's Thursday?
Today's Thursday. Yeah.
Oh,
So we'll
okay.
see you guys on Tuesday. We hope that you enjoy your Memorial Day. We hope that you are safe. We hope that you social distance. We hope that everybody enjoys the long weekend if you're working.
Good for you, actually.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We love you all. Enjoy your weekend. Once again, Sienna Rose. You can find her on all of her social media at Sienna Rose Official. Anita Manager. You can find me everywhere at Mrs. Anita Manager. That's my Venmo, my Facebook,
The YouTube, the website,
everywhere.
the Match.com, the LinkedIn, we get it.
No, wouldn't it be Ashley Madison? All right, guys. I love you all. I'm Anita Manager, and you're amazing. Have a great night.
Good night, guys. Okay.
All right.
So let's
will
boil
literally-
these,
right?
because I'm starving, and then get to use my perfect sauce that I worked so hard on.
Okay.